How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. Today I'll be doing the partner commanders that are from day 4, I believe. I believe this is day 4 spoilers. And we're going to be doing all the partner commanders in this video that were spoiled on this day, just because none of them really stood out to me as being able to do a full video for. So we're grouping them together and hopefully getting around a 10-minute video off this one. And we're going to start off with Haldan and Pako, because good doggo. We love the doggos. And Teamer Doggos, fun. But it's a weird combo because Pako seems alright, but 5 mana is a little steep on him. And Haldan, why did I say? Oh yeah, it is Haldan. Okay, I was right. And Haldan doesn't do anything without Pako, so they're not very powerful. They're definitely a fun deck, especially if you have enough ramp to make sure that you can continuously cast Pako. But otherwise, so you're gonna want to have stuff that synergizes well and does the same thing that you're gonna want to do. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to do it as well. So stuff like Atali or Stolen Strategy, fantastic in the deck. They do what you want to do: steal your opponent's top cards. And Atali just is the same thing as Pako, but just significantly better. Well, yeah, just significantly better. Just because if I could cast it for free right then and there, and don't need Haldan in play to do so. You got stuff like Stronic Resonator, so that way you can copy the trigger, so you can get twice as many cards. Dolmen Gate, because you're gonna need to attack a lot. This way you can keep Pako alive because he isn't that big. Mazavith is a good way to do it as well if you don't have any clear attacks. And you can do stuff like Totally Lost or Noxious Revival, so that way you can kind of choose what you're going to be hitting. And you can use Lantern of Insight, so that way you can see what you're going to be hitting. Another way to do it more often is multiple attack steps, so you can capitalize on that with stuff like Aggravated Assault or World at War. And also Helm of the Host, really good in this deck. You can get a lot of fetch counters going if you have like 6 Pakos running around. Bear Umbra and Sword of Feast and Famine seem fantastic in the deck because it just lets you have extra mana after you attack, so that way you can cast the spells using Haldan and have some fun. And so yeah, that's about what I got for Haldan and Pako. They seem okay. It seems just like a makeshift Atali. It doesn't seem great. It's Atali, but with better colors. So it's a worse Atali with better colors. Do with that what you will. Let me know down below, though, if you're going to build this deck. And if you are, let me know if you're going to build Dog Travel, because I want to see that list badly. Next up, we're going to talk about Yannik and Nikara. I think these might be the best ones out of all the partners that were spoiled today. They seem pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of depth to them that seems pretty fun. One of the biggest things you can do is stuff like Flicker and Ephemerate on Yannik. So that way you can get a bunch of those ETB triggers, so we can get counters everywhere. And exile something that has a counter on it, so that way you can deal damage or make your opponents lose life and draw cards. You're going to want to fill your deck with as many of those as you possibly can. Then you're going to also want to throw in stuff. So stuff similar to that is also like Felidar Guardian or Restoration Angel. Both are pretty great in the deck. You can actually go infinite doing this, and like flickering it over and over and over in a really weird way using Leonic Relic Warden, Leonid Relic Warder, and Oblivion Ring, and have it like you can just kind of stack triggers. So Leonid exiles Oblivion Ring, which is exiling Yannik, so Yannik comes back in, which exiles the Relic, which exiles Oblivion. So Oblivion Ring comes back in, which will exile whatever. Yeah, which will exile Yannik. It's a little loopy, but if you have Nikara in play, you just drain your opponents and make your stuff infinitely large. Next stuff that I want to talk about is Rayhan. Rayhan's pretty sweet in the deck because of the fact that whenever a creature dies, you're throwing counters around, and this deck relies on having counters on stuff. So, pretty good to include. you're going to want to amplify the damage with Nikara. Try to get as much damage as possible, so you're going to want to have duplicates of her. So stuff like Corpse Knight, Araya, those are both fantastic in the deck. You got to run them. Especially Corpse Knight, I think that's the best one. You can throw in stuff like Sarah's Avatar, because Sarah Avatar getting exiled by Yannik means like 30-something, 40-something counters are going to be just whoop, all over the place. And you can make a pretty big Yannik if you do that, and then just kill somebody with commander damage if you wanted to. You can use Karmic Guide and a sack outlet to just make infinite counters, because you can... Karmic Guide enters the battlefield. It says on it, return target creature. When it enters the battlefield, return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you sacrifice it in response to its own trigger, and then you can return it via its trigger and have some fun with that. And just keep doing that. Skullbriar seems great just because of the fact that it keeps its counters. So every time it enters the battlefield, every time you flicker it, you don't need to put counters on it because it already keeps them, and it'll just continuously do damage. Athros the Shroud Veiled seems great in this deck because it puts coin counters on stuff, and the things with coin counters, when they leave, they come back into play. So that seems like a shoe-in. And yeah, that's everything I had written down for Yannik and Nikara. Plus you can do Hyena Tribal. I don't know. I think Nikara's just a great card to be put in the decks. I think that she's oftentimes going to end up being separated from Yannik, because Yannik is much more specific, and Nikara fits into a lot more decks than Yannik does. And so now we're going to go over to the last one. Last up, we got Trynn and Silvar. So these are kind of weird. It's another somewhat human tribal commanders. Like, you're going to want to... specifically human token creation. So, like, you don't want stuff like increasing devotion and such. So that way you can create as many human tokens as you can, or humans that you like to have die and come back. Stuff like that. Throw in Sun Titan, have fun with that. This deck seems like a very similar deck to a lot of decks that I've been talking about already, except it also has a Voltron aspect and a much more aristocrat-y style to the deck, because you're gonna be sacrificing humans. Like, you can sack humans for free. So if you can get a good way to continuously keep humans cycling onto the board, then you can just go nuts and put a ton of counters on Silvar. I didn't actually think of any infinite combos for it off the bat, but there's probably one out there, and if you know it, if you can figure it out, put it in the comments down below, because I'd love to see it. Something with Astronaut's Altar and Nim Death Mantle, probably. I don't know. Or something with this. Nah, I don't know. I can't think of one. I hadn't been able to think of one. So if you guys think of one, comment down below what the infinite combo is, because there's definitely one there. But the whole idea of this deck is to make Silvar big and hit people and deal commander damage, Voltron style, throw in equipment, stuff like that. Or go aristocrat style, or go human tribal. Like, those are the three main ways I can see building this deck. I can't really see much else. And the worst part about this is that Silvar is 5 mana. If it was 4 mana, this deck would be significantly better. Just 5 mana is a lot for a 4/2. Like, I mean, it can get indestructible, but yeah. I mean, it should be getting indestructible based on the way you're going to build this deck. It should be just considered a 4/2 indestructible, and you have one less creature on your board. So that's my thoughts on the partner commanders that were spoiled today, day 4. So yesterday, because you guys are watching this day after. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, remember, comment down below what you're going to build. Comment down below if you think I'm underrating any of these commanders, because I'd love to hear it. I love to hear your feedback, and I respond to you guys, so let's talk. You can check me out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. If you don't want to support it that much, you can subscribe to the channel, like the videos, do all that, because it really helps a lot. The last few days have been massive for my channel. Like, I've been seeing more traffic than ever, and I gotta thank you guys for that. I'm glad that you guys are all enjoying this, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.